Late this afternoon, Lougheed's defense lawyer Michael Lacey cross-examined Olivier and grilled him on why he persisted to seek a nomination when the Premier's office made it very clear that their preferred candidate was Glenn Thibeault. Now, this cross-examination is expected to pick up tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Isaac.
Day 2 featured more of Michael Lacey's intense cross-examination on Andrew Olivier. Lacey, who is the defense lawyer of Jerry Lougheed, asked Olivier why he didn't accept the Premier office's decision to make Glenn Thibeault the Sudbury candidate. Now, Lacey went on to accuse Olivier of trying to make a last-minute Hail Mary pass to keep his nomination hopes alive. Lacey also demanded to know if anything in the monetary sense was offered to Olivier. Olivier eventually agreed there was not. Later in the day, Pat Sorbera's defense lawyer, Brian Greenspan, continued with the tough questioning of Olivier. Greenspan discussed how the Liberal Party constitution, that's something he called electoral urgency, is allowed to move the process along. He said that that was what Sorbera was trying to do.
Really didn't have any expectations. I just know that I had to come here and discuss what the events that went on based on the questions that were asked. You know, I expected it to be a long process, and hopefully did the best I could to answer their questions and clarify things for the judge.
Earlier today, I spoke with veteran NDP MPP Gilles Bisson, who was watching the proceedings, as he's going to be here next week to watch Premier Wynne hit the stand.
I think it's important to hear what she has to say. You know, this is not a good thing for her. There's no question about it. There's no way to slice this as good news. This is bad news. And it'll be interesting to see how she reacts on the stand. You know, is she going to be, you know, as open as she needs to be? Is she going to be more guarded?
The trial continues on Monday, with the Premier set to testify on Wednesday. Former Laurentian University President Dominic Giroux shared details of a lunch meeting with Glenn Thibeault in Ottawa 18 months prior to Joe Cimino resigning as Sudbury's MPP. Thibeault confided in Giroux that he was contemplating switching from federal to provincial politics because he felt limited in Ottawa. Now, Giroux went on to say that he helped connect Thibeault to the Liberal Party. Court also heard that Thibeault wanted to be appointed as Sudbury's Liberal candidate as opposed to running in a contested and open nomination process. Thibeault also wanted the Premier to commit to giving him a cabinet post at Queen's Park if he won the seat. Andrew Olivier's former campaign manager, Aaron St. Pierre, meanwhile, was next to testify. But St. Pierre was unable to recall the majority of the events and exchanges that he was asked about leading up to the Sudbury by-election, including an email from the local riding association that recommended Andrew Olivier be acclaimed.
They were asking lots of questions about things that I couldn't remember for sure, because there was lots of people involved. There were lots of people saying different things, doing different things, so I couldn't remember exactly. Yeah.
Premier Kathleen Wynne headlines Wednesday's testimony, which is expected to resume at 9 a.m. Isaac Cohen, CTV News, Sudbury. It was a media circus in Sudbury as Premier Kathleen Wynne wrapped up her testimony earlier this afternoon and apparently has left Sudbury. Now, it's the first time in anyone's memory that a sitting premier has taken the stand. Premier Kathleen Wynne came equipped and ready to give her testimony in this bribery trial.
Good morning, everybody.
Lougheed and Sorbera are accused of offering Andrew Olivier a potential job or appointment as enticements to move aside so that Glenn Thibeault could be appointed as Sudbury's new Liberal candidate. Wynne fielded questions from the Crown on whether an open nomination process was the better way to proceed with the 2015 Sudbury by-election. Wynne stressed that she felt it was urgent to name a candidate and stage a by-election quickly so Sudbury could have a new MPP in place when the legislature resumed in February. In regards to Andrew Olivier's interest in pursuing the Liberal candidacy, Wynne said, quote, "Andrew Olivier had not been as strong a candidate as I thought." Wynne was referring to Olivier's earlier loss in the June 2014 election. Wynne says she met on November the 30th, 2014 at her home with Glenn Thibeault, then a federal MP for Sudbury. She said, quote, "He seemed like a very sincere and smart man, and it would be great to have him as a candidate." Once Thibault agreed to make the switch, he was appointed by Premier Wynne. The Premier testified she had no plans of changing her mind once she decided Thibault was the chosen candidate. So in her mind, there was no necessity to have any follow-up discussions with Andrew Olivier, as she made her vision very clear. However, she did say she wanted to keep Andrew Olivier involved with the Liberal Party if she could. But she also said if Olivier had expressed interest in pursuing any opportunities within the party, he would still have to go through an internal process. As you heard, several protesters made their presence felt, heckling the Premier after she left the courtroom. Now, afterwards, Wynne only provided a quick comment and didn't field any questions from the media.